Hello, hello, and welcome to this day, to this life, where we're going to talk about the different authorities in human design. Let me just set up the image, and here we go. Hello, you dear, lovely viewer. I'm going to talk today about the authorities in human design. You don't need anybody to tell you what to do, when to do it, how to do it, with whom to do it, because you have your inner authority, and it is inside of your body. It's like an inner anchor, and you have all the answers. They're inside of you. So let's look at the different authorities in human design. So when you look at your body graph, if on the right hand side, if that triangle is colored in brown, then it means you have a defined emotional center, defined solar plexus. This is the first chart here on the image above, and it means you're an emotional being. You can be either a generator or a manifestor or a projector. And if you have this brown triangle colored in, it means you have emotional authority. So in human design, we have strategy and we have inner authority. The strategy for the different types is, for the generator is to wait to respond. For the manifestor, it is to inform before you initiate and manifest. For the projector, it's to wait for official invitation. And for the reflector, it's to wait a lunar cycle before you take a decision. And the inner authorities in our energetic blueprint show us how we take decisions according to our definition. So the first chart represents the emotional authority. So if you have this triangle colored in brown in your chart, if you're a manifestor, projector, or generator, you have an emotional authority or solar plexus authority. This is half of the people have this authority, and it is about waiting out your emotional wave, waiting to see the wisdom that your emotional wave gives you. So people who are emotional, they have this chemistry inside their body which connects them to their inner wisdom, and it is about understanding that there is no truth in the now. In order for you to have clarity, emotional clarity, you need to wait for your emotional wave to go through its different places in the emotional wave, and to see what it has to give you as a perspective. So there are different perspectives from the different places in your emotionality. So when something happens and you have to take a decision, you need to evaluate it by looking at all the different perspectives, but not what your mind tells you. It's about how you feel about it. So it's not what you think about it, it's how you feel about it. Let's say somebody invites you to the cinema, and at this moment you're on the high end of your emotional wave. You immediately say yes, and then the next day when the movie should actually take place, you're on the down part of your emotional wave and you don't feel like going out. And you didn't wait out your wave. You said yes, you engaged, and now you feel sorry about it. Having an emotional authority means waiting, playing hard to get as well. It is about waiting out this wave and seeing things from the different perspectives. So one day when you're, let's say, on your high end of the wave, you wake up and you're just in a good mood. It's like you put your pink glasses on. Everything feels great. The bad things don't look as bad. You get a lot of propositions and you want to say yes to everything. You're in the high end of your wave. And then after it changes place, and it constantly is changing place, it goes from pain to hope and back again. It's never stopping. It's chemistry in you. You cannot control it. It's like the period with the woman. It just comes and goes. And if you try to be spontaneous, and that's what emotional people love, is being spontaneous, it's not healthy for you. You can take decisions which are wrong for you. It's like you marry the prince and you wake up next to the frog. So that's why you have to give time to things so that you can feel them through and see them through the different parts of your emotional wave. If you're down on your wave, you just wake up suddenly in the morning and you're in a bad mood. There is no reason attached to it. It just is. It's like you put your gray glasses on and everything good is not so good and everything bad is twice as bad. And there is no reason. You don't need to attach any reason. Actually, emotional people don't even know why they're in a bad mood or in a good mood. But very often they try to attach a reason to it. They play the blame, shame, guilt game with others, and they can say like, I'm in a bad mood because you did that, I'm angry because you did that, and putting the power outside of themselves, putting the responsibility about how they feel outside of themselves. And the truth is, it is you which is the reason. It is your chemistry. And it's not about blaming yourself, shaming yourself, guilting yourself. It's about accepting it, accepting that you're an emotional being. And everything in your life is about how you feel about things, how things make you feel. So when you're up in your emotional wave, you are prone to say yes to everything, yes to propositions and proposals, and later you might regret it. Or when you're on the down part of your wave, where you're with your gray glasses on, everything feels like a no. You can decline all the propositions you get and afterwards feel sorry about that. So playing hard to get is not a manipulation. It's about waiting out to see the wisdom of your emotions. And when somebody gives you a proposition, you can tell them, look, I'm emotional. I don't want to take spontaneous decisions. So would you ask me again? Or would you inform me again about your proposal? Or would you like to invite me again to check out with me again tomorrow or the day after, so I can have time to evaluate your proposition, your proposal? And if it is the correct person for you, they will want that juiciness. The emotional people are so juicy. They will come back. They will ask you again. They will give you again the proposition. If they respect you, if they respect your energy, if they respect your slowness, they will wait and they will come back again. And when you feel wanted, actually, the more people wait for you, the more wanted you're going to be, the more wanted your energy will be, that juiciness. Non-emotional people really love the juice of the emotional people. It gives them enthusiasm, and it gives them all this array of feelings of really it's this juiciness that attracts them. So waiting out your wave, waiting out your clarity, and you have everything to gain and nothing to lose. If a proposition doesn't come back, then it's just not the right proposition for you, or it's not the right person for you, or it's not the right timing. You're emotional people are often afraid they will miss out on things. They love to dive in immediately, to be spontaneous, especially when they're high on their wave, or spontaneously decline everything because they're on the low part. And they feel like they are gonna miss something, like FOMO, fear of missing out. But the truth is, what is for you will wait for you. And what doesn't wait for you, it automatically just drops out of your sight, of your space. And you can know there was nothing for you there. Emotional people just want to throw their emotions on the other person, drop them, either, especially when they feel down, they want to use the other one as dropping your trash on them. And this can feel like emotional manipulation to the other. Or when you're on the high part of your wave, people will feel in an exaggerated way super happy about you, twice more happy than you are. And this can also be an emotional manipulation. People love you when you're on the upside of your wave, and they totally don't like you when you're down on your wave. So this is why it is good when you meet somebody, before you decide whether they're correct for you, whether they're healthy for you, is to see them several times, 2-3 times, so that you can evaluate and see how you respond to them, or how you feel towards them when you see them in the different parts of your wave. And you give them a chance to also see whether they can take you in the different parts of your emotional wave. Also, you must understand that clarity is never 100%. It's maximum 60-70%. But when you reach clarity, you will know, because there will be no nervousness in your body. But if you wait too long, the wave will change, and again you will not feel clarity. So waiting out to see things from the different perspectives, different prisms of your emotionality is a very good idea. The morning is smarter than the evening. You know, sometimes it can take you 5 minutes or 1 hour to get emotional clarity and move to another country. Or it can take you 3 years before you decide on the color of the vehicle, the car you want to buy. And there can be different emotional waves depending on your design happening at the same time. So different processes. And it's all about waiting out that wave, waiting out for your emotional clarity. Then you really want it. You are sought after. You're really juicy for the other, and you can wait to see what happens, what life has to deliver for you. It's all about waiting for that emotional clarity. I'm just looking at the percentages. Okay, here they are. So, defined solar plexus has 47% of the people have emotional definition. They're emotional. They have defined solar plexus. They can be projectors, manifestors, or generators, and it's all about waiting. For the generator, it's waiting your clarity with your response. For the manifestor, is waiting for clarity whether to initiate, and for the projector, it's waiting for clarity whether this is the correct invitation for them. Let's move to the next authority. So if you have the red square colored in your body graph, but you do not have the emotional center defined, then you have sacral authority. So they go like this: emotional, sacral, splenic, ego, G authority. Then it is mental authority and lunar authority. I'm going through all of them. The second authority is the sacral authority. It is only for generators, sacral generators, which are not emotional. They can be pure generators or they can be manifesting generators. All the same, it's about the sacral response. It's about responding with your inner energy and your inner truth, inner voice, positively to something or negatively. So when something comes to you, it's either yeah, I want it, that sounds delicious, I would love to do it. You feel this energy rising in you. And when it's a negative response, it's no, I don't want it, yuck, ew, that doesn't feel good, that's not for me. Or it's depletion of energy, your energy goes down, it's not for you. Or there can be nothing, no response at all. So this will be either you didn't get the correct question, or your sacral just doesn't know. The sacral is a motor. It doesn't give logical or other explanations. It just is. It does not speak in sentences. It speaks only in sounds. Or or I don't know yet. And usually when it's I don't know yet, for now, it's not a yes. It's not an aha. So you wait to see whether things change. You have truth in the now because you're not emotional. And when you respond, it means that you have the energy to engage with that activity or conversation or whatever it is. But if you do not have a defined spleen in your sacral generator, still it means you should not be spontaneous. You should wait an extra few moments before you share your response, because you might try to be spontaneous, which can be unhealthy for you, detrimental, or even dangerous. So sacral generators, if you have a defined spleen, then your first reaction, your first intuitive response is the correct one, whether it's or I don't know. Then the third authority is the splenic authority. It is only reserved for manifestors and projectors. Splenic authority people do not have the sacral defined or the emotional center defined. They have an undefined emotional system, undefined sacral, and they have the spleen defined. The spleen is our most early awareness center, and it is the most primal, very intuitive. You're a very intuitive being. And it is the first which comes to you, the first feeling that comes to you is your intuition, and that's the correct response. It tells you whether things are healthy or unhealthy for you, whether there is some danger there. Usually the spleen at the beginning of your experiment with human design, usually it warns you when there is something unhealthy. But with time, when you become more sensitive, it will also speak when when something is healthy for you. But it's a warning mechanism. It's like a red flag saying, that's not healthy for me. You don't know why, and this can feel quite strange and put you at unease because there is no explanation. You just feel that's not healthy for you. Your intuition warns you. It's a warning system. It's like the laundry machine of the body. So if something is unhealthy, it will laundry it out. It doesn't want to deal with it. And only 5 minutes later or some moments later, the feeling can be totally different, and you can respond differently to the same question or to the same person. It might not be unhealthy anymore. It might be that these, let's say, bacteria or viruses or whatever are not in the person anymore, or whatever. So pay attention to your first instinct, your intuition, and your taste, and be aware that the spleen speaks only once, and it's a silent voice, gentle voice, and it can be totally tramped or silenced by other centers, since if you're splenic, you don't have the emotional center defined, you don't have a sacral, you can be under the influence of an emotional person around you or planets, whatever, and all these feelings, emotions can cloud your intuition. Or if you have a generator nearby, you might feel like you have all this energy and engage with things, but actually it might not be correct for you. So listen to your intuition. You cannot it will not give you explanation why, but very soon you will see why. Those are the people who say, I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. So if you get into a car and you drive on a dirt road and suddenly you feel like your body is putting your belt and your mind says, oh no, but I never put my protection belt before I'm on the main road. Why am I doing it now? Well, very soon you will find out. So don't question it. Don't question your intuition. Just do it. And very soon you will see what it was talking about, what danger it was protecting you from. The next, the sacral authority are 35% of the people. The splenic authority are 11% of the people. And now we go to the ego authority, which is less than 4%. It's ego and self-authority together are 4%, so this will be less than 4%, like probably 3% or something. 2-3% of the people have ego authority. Ego authority again is reserved only for projectors and manifestors. This means that you have nothing defined under the ego. Neither your emotional system is defined, nor your root center is defined, nor your sacral is defined, nor your splenic system is defined. All of those are undefined or open, white, and you only have the ego center colored, or any of the centers above the ego center, that red triangle. So ego authority is about the willpower. Do I have the will to do that? So you are watching yourself, watching your body, like with all the other authorities, and watching whether your body says, I can engage, I have the power to do that, I'm willing to do that, I want to engage my willpower, my strength for pouring my will, my energy into this thing. And if you have the willpower for something, then it is the correct thing to do. And if it's a projector and you got the invitation, it's about, do I have the will? Am I willing to do that? Do I have the power to engage with this invitation? That will show you whether it's the correct invitation. If you're a manifester, it's about whether you're willing to initiate, whether you have the strength, the power, the stamina of the ego to go and initiate that. And don't forget to inform before you initiate. Think of who you're impacting, and still manifestors have to wait for that inner impulse, and then they have all the power to go and manifest, initiate, transform, innovate, get into new territories, start new sparks, but they have to feel that inner impulse, not initiate from their mind. And then check out with their ego authority whether they have the will, whether they have the power to engage and start these processes, these actions, discussions, words, whatever it is. The next inner authority is called G authority or self-authority. It is when nothing under the G center, the yellow square or rump in the body graph, is defined. So you're not emotional, your solar plexus is not defined, you're not sacral, your sacral center is not defined, no root defined, no spleen defined, and no ego defined. Then we have the G center defined, or anything above the G center, the throat, the head, and the ajna can be defined, or only G to throat. This is reserved only for projectors. It's less than 4%, maybe 2-3% have or less have this inner authority. And these people can be really sensitive to, let's say, to correction or to judgment and to criticism, because they express themselves, their inner self, their love, their direction, their sense of identity. They really are talking from their identity because they have the G center connected to the throat. And their inner authority is about how they speak about things to the other, and listen to what they're saying, how they're saying it, whether it's coming out nicely and easily, how their voice sounds, whether it's like a river and just floats and flows, and feeling the energy inside your body, how it flows out. And really connecting to how you express yourself, how you express your identity. And when you feel your voice is cracking, or it's not coming out nicely, the words are either mispronounced or not the right words, you cannot find the right words, then it's not the correct thing for you. So observe how you talk, observe how whether there is flow of the information, how the energy comes out of you. Listen to yourself and you will know what is correct for you. It might take some time, so be patient, give yourself the needed time before you're clear what is correct for you, whether this is the right invitation. And mind that once a projector engages, they sign under this energy, they become slave of this energy. So invitations, it's not only important that you get them, but it's important what is your inner authority saying about this invitation. Is it the correct one or is it not the correct one? And then we go to the mental authority, the mental projector authority, or it's also called no inner authority, or authority of the surrounding. Authority of the environmental authority. So this is reserved only for mental projectors. So it's either your throat defined to the ajna and ajna to the head, or just the throat to the ajna. So no other center under the throat is defined. The G center is undefined, the ego center is undefined, the emotional center is undefined, the sacral center is undefined, the spleen center is undefined, the root center is undefined. Everything under the throat, if it's undefined, open and white, then you're a mental projector. Mental projectors are around 1.5% of the population. They're very rare beings. And they're very open. They need to take in all this energy from the outside, evaluate it, see the wisdom it brings them before they have clarity over their decision. It is about waiting to feel clarity, that there is no nervousness in your body, and in the meantime, talk to people you trust and use them as sounding boards. This means that you don't listen to their opinion, but you listen to how you explain things to them. And listen to your own words. What are you telling them? How are you telling it to them? Again, what is the tone of your voice? Is it cracking up or is it flowing freely? Do you feel like you're kind of, your energy is clear about it? You feel like you want to engage, or is it cracking up? It's You feel depleted, it's not for you. And this is not like the generator, because energy you can be taking in from the outside and identifying with it, thinking that this is you. But actually it's about feeling and allowing enough time so that you take enough information, taste it through your openness, through your open centers, like a scanner. Take the wisdom out of it without identifying with this energy, without taking it personally, thinking that this is yourself, and waiting, giving yourself enough time until you reach that clarity. And remember, even for mental projectors, which means they have either the head and ajna or the ajna defined, and either or not the throat center, it's not about the mind. It's not about listening to your mind. You have very strong mind, and you can evaluate things, you can measure things, but it's not about taking decision based on that, because the mind can give you exactly as many pros or cons about something, and give you as much negative whys and as much positive whys, but the truth is in your authority, which is authority of the environment. And it just takes time. Those people can be super sensitive to the environment and to all the people around them. And it might look like it's difficult to be a mental projector, but actually, if you think about it, you have to exclude all the other options, and that makes it easy, you know? If it makes me feel that way, then it's not correct, because I'm not an emotional being. If I'm under pressure, in a hurry to do something, that's not me, that's the root center. If I don't know when to stop and when enough is enough, I feel all this energy, that's the sacral center. You have it undefined, that's not you. If you feel intuitively like you have to be spontaneous, do something right away, that's your spleen being conditioned, and that's not you. You have undefined spleen. If you feel like you have the willpower, you want to give promises, go ahead, do those things, that's not you. You are not a willpower person. You have an undefined ego center. If you feel like something makes you feel happy, that's something I didn't say about the G, the self-projected authority. It's whether things make you feel happy. So if you feel like this will make me feel happy, gives me direction, this is the right way, well, that's not you, because you have undefined G center. Or if you have undefined throat and you want to manifest, initiate, transform immediately, and you have undefined throat, because mental projectors can have undefined throat and have only the head and ajna, then this is also not you. So when you know that this is not me, then what's left, that's you. That's the correct for you. So find those people you trust. It's not your lover. It's not somebody you want to look intelligent and the best version of yourself with. It's somebody you can relax being yourself and just let those words come out. Speak to different people. It's not about one person. Soundboard your truth and you will hear it. You will hear it in the sound of it, and whether there is nervousness in the body. And then the last authority, it's 1.47%, have lunar authority. This authority is reserved only for reflectors. And it is always surprising. It's the signature of the reflector is to be surprised. And it is about waiting out your lunar cycle, which is about 28.5 days for major decisions. It's not about whether you eat or drink or sleep or whatever. It is about major decisions, like getting into relationships, whether love or business relationships, where you're gonna live, or where you're gonna work, with whom you're gonna work, or other major decisions in your life, to move somewhere or to buy something big like a car or whatever. Just big decisions, whatever you perceive as big decisions. Maybe buying a car is nothing for you, it can be just another thing you buy. So it depends on the decision, but for major decisions, and especially in those areas that I mentioned, you need to give yourself time. Usually this is a whole lunar cycle, or 28.5 days, which actually during which the moon moves from gate to gate through the entire Rave Mandala wheel, goes through all the 64 gates, and gives you different perspective on things. So you can trust that you are you're not the same. You're constantly changing, but you can trust that this process every month will go through the same conditioning, through the same stimulus. The reflector has these gates, which are like hands stretching out, but they're dormant. They only get activated when they meet the other, or planets activate them on the other side and form a channel with them. So they're like those tentacles which are constantly searching for something different, for something surprising. So if you're a reflector, you have everything to win by waiting out your reflector clarity, and waiting out this lunar cycle. So if you have a major decision, write it down, put down the date where you were initiated, asked, proposed, whatever, and check out every day, maybe even write it down, how your perspective changes. It can be every day, things might be different. And then at the end of the month, you can read back what you wrote, and you can see how your perspective changed, and then you might feel clarity about the decision or not. Maybe you might have to wait for another lunar cycle to pass. It's about trusting that the right things for you will wait for you, and if something drops on the way, you don't get the proposal back, then it was not for you. It was something that there is nothing for you there. Don't be afraid of missing out. No FOMO, fear of missing out. You're missing nothing. And of course, check it out for yourself. Experiment. See what happens when you are taking immediate decisions about major things, when you are trying to be spontaneous, or taking it under emotional influence, or any other center, too much thinking, wanting to be fast, wanting to prove yourself, wanting to find correct direction, correct way, thinking that you have a lot of energy and not knowing when enough is enough, or intuitively wanting to do something. This is not you. This is conditioning from the outside. The reflector, the most important thing is that you're in the correct place. If you're in the correct place, you will meet the correct people, which will give you correct signposts. And with time, it will give you clarity as to what is correct and healthy for you. So these are all the authorities. And they can help you take decisions as yourself. You don't need anybody to tell you what is correct for you, what is healthy for you. You don't need outside authorities. You only need to be connected to your body, to your inner wisdom, to your inner anchor, and it will be much easier to know what is correct for you, and that you can trust yourself, your inner guidance, your inner authority. Or in the case of the projector and the reflector, and the mental projector, waiting out for gaining clarity through the wisdom of your openness and through the changing of your perspective. Waiting out, patience is really the key, guys. Whether you're emotional and you need to wait out the emotional wave, whether you're sacral and you need to wait for for you to hear your response for outside initiation only when you are splenic and you're not a projector, because splenic projectors also have to wait for the invitation. But if you're splenic generator or splenic but with sacral authority, so you need to see whether you respond or not, still wait. If you're a generator, only when you're a manifester, splenic manifester, you can act immediately. Of course, before that you have to inform people that you're going to impact them, like I'm coming, here I am, I'm going to do that, and then doing it, only informing. You don't need to ask anybody. Then you can be spontaneous, and then that's correct for you. All the other cases, whether it's or self-projected projector, mental projector, or reflector, you need to wait. You need to wait for your clarity. I didn't say anything about the ego projector. The ego projector needs to still wait for the invitation. The ego manifester still needs to inform, but they can be much faster. So splenic and ego manifestors can be much faster. But still they need to wait that inner impulse. So patience and waiting are the keys. Would you like to try an experiment with that and see whether it resonates with you, this information? You know, truth has a ring to it, but still you need to hear your own truth. Don't bow to outer authorities. You can share your perspective. I would love to hear. Please like, subscribe to my channel for more information. Show me your support by following me, by liking this live or other videos that I have posted, and this will give me feedback as to whether you feel that this information is practical and useful for you, and I'll make more videos. Thank you, and bye for now.